So, just to go over that, and I don't know if we'll have any more come in, but just for your information.
When is it due?
I do not know, because she didn't tell me, she's the one that placed the ad.
It's what?
For the tank, the water tank, and the
Water tank.
Who have we used in the past?
Midco was the last one. And they were cheaper than a company out of Billings, and he contacted me today, and he's gonna send me an email.
Is that the one that I got today?
Something Ellen, something engineering, I don't know.
If we have somebody.
So it looks as though if we
McGuire.
give them, what is it?
Yes, go ahead.
Wasn't there discussion about issues with the
Years
ladder?
That's a four-year lock on this.
Yes.
Is the people making this bid aware of that?
What is it?
I not know.
The data, I thought it was just 4 annuals.
Is that what, it was missing or it was bad, there was a report or something, I know we discussed
I
this
know the
earlier.
last, it seems like the last time they did an inspection, the ladder was in poor shape and needed to be replaced.
Was
This
it-
one's still.
Yeah, I don't know. If they're aware of it, because if they get in there with their screw here and can't get out.
And that stays with, they're familiar with it.
Keep tossing
It passes
supplies
the
in
audits
your
that
room.
they have to go through.
So
Or
that's,
the
I just
inspections,
gave,
I mean.
I've got those two bids, I was just for your review to go over before.
If bids don't close to a certain date, you need to know that date. Because
And I can go in the office and find out, I've got the ad, but I don't know what Shirley, when I saw the, proof, it didn't say anything about a date, so I don't know
Because we
what
can't
Shirley
vote
put
on it
down.
if there is a date correct to.
yeah, if you've posted it, advertised it, that you'll be accepting bids to a certain date, you can't really make a vote tonight on.
Oh, no, but I just wanted it for their information, so that they have, so they can read through the contracts and compare the two. I don't know if there's any more, but it's just correspondence that came through that they should have a look at and make a sound decision.
You're right, it's under correspondence.
So we don't have to table anything on this stuff.
No?
Make a note though to put it on the agenda for next
Yeah.
month.
Okay. Ordinance revision. Do we have any public comment on revisions, proposed revisions?
I guess I had two things on it. One is the money from the business license goes into the general fund now. And I don't know, why is that?
They never kept it separate. There's not a separate line item or budgetary item, is my understanding for business.
It goes into the general fund, but it's under, business license.
Yeah.
And it goes, your fund, fund, which is general, it goes to your, account, which is, business license. And then,
And before it had said police fund, right, or whatever, that's where it went. I guess my only thinking on this is, as a business person in town, the one thing that the business people always use is the police. And I guess as far as businesses go, you don't want to be repairing a street on Lover's Lane, you know, or your money going into the general fund on that deal. And I do like the idea of it going into the police fund like the old ordinance had said. Because that's the one thing that all businesses pretty much use if they're,
but our general fund goes, it pays for our contract.
Yeah.
In the long sense of the way, I know that
in the
comes out.
long sense of the way, but
I understand what you're saying also.
Is that all we had on public comment? Okay, second reading.
Did you have anything else, Tim?
that's it.
We have second reading of ordinance number 492, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code 1-4-01, general levy. Be it enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code 1-4-01, general levy is hereby repealed. The topic of this code section is already set forth verbatim in Title 7, Chapter 6 of the Montana Compiled Laws. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve 492. I'll second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 493, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code 1-4-02, maximum rate. Be it enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code 1-4-02, maximum rate is hereby repealed. The topic of this code section is already set forth verbatim in Title 7, Chapter 6 of the Montana Compiled Laws. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion. I'll make a motion we accept 493.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 494, ordinance repealing Fromberg Code 1-4-03, disposition of levy. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code 1-4-03, disposition of levy is hereby repealed. The topic of this code section is already set forth verbatim in Title 7, Chapter 6 of the Montana Compiled Laws. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve 494.
Second. In favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 495, an ordinance amending Fromberg Code 1-5-01, elections to change the term of mayor to coincide with MCA requirements and to change title of alderman to council member. Be it enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code 1-5-01, elections is hereby renumbered and amended as follows. 1-4-01, elections and terms of office. On the first Tuesday following the first Monday of November of every odd year, a municipal election shall be held at which the qualified electors of the municipality shall elect the officers of the municipality. The mayor shall hold office for a term of 4 years and until the qualification of his or her successor. Each council member shall hold office for 4 years, but the terms of council members shall be staggered so that 2 council members will be elected every 2 years. This refers to the previous ordinances and at Montana Compiled annotated 7-4-4302 and 7-4-4402. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Just to let everybody know, the mayor has requested we table this one so that she can be a part of the discussion, because she has had some complaints about the 4-year term for mayor.
I don't see a problem with 4 years for a mayor.
Well, she would like to see it stay at 2 years.
Stay. Is that what it's been?
That's what it's at. 2 years.
2 years? So this ordinance is suggesting that we make that 4 years?
Yes.
Coincide with state
Yes.
law.
With the state? The state is 4
The
years?
state, yeah, the state, 4 years.
One other thing that's come up in this issue is whether this applies to the general election this November. And I think it does not, because it won't be approved prior to all the election where people put their names in and so forth by that deadline. So it'll take effect and only apply to future,
It'll take
Future
2 years.
elections.
if you approve it.
I personally would like to see it stay at 2 years. Whatever you guys.
What's your concern?
Well, if we don't like the mayor. He comes up every 2 years. And,
People don't like the council, they come up every 4 years.
yeah,
I think the mayor, 2 years is a short time limit to even get to know the job.
I agree.
It takes, as long as all the work these guys and she's been putting in, it takes a long time to get anything done.
what do you guys want to do?
I think taking the red, read those 7 years.
So you make a motion, are you going to make a motion back then?
Make a motion to accept as read. To get the number.
495. We need a second. Ordinance 495.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to accept ordinance 495 as read. Second reading. All those in favor?
Aye.
Again, that's with the caveat that it does not apply to this general election.
Right.
Right.
Okay.
Because everything's already in place with the election board, you see? Ordinance number 496, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code sections 1-5-11, polling place, 1-5-20, election officials, 1-5-21, certificates of nomination, 1-5-22, filing of certificates, 1-5-23, limitations, 1-5-24, certificates to be presented, 1-5-25, filing fee, 1-5-26, candidates declining, 1-5-27, vacancies, 1-5-31, interferes with electors, and 1-5-51, registration for special elections. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code sections, the ones I just read, are hereby repealed. These sections are repealed because the topics of these code sections are already covered verbatim by MCA Title 13 Elections Procedure. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve 496, was it?
Yep.
We have a motion and a second.
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Ordinance number 497, an ordinance setting forth requirements for town ordinances, be it enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code sections 1-6-01, ordinance requirements, is hereby renumbered and amended as follows. 1-5-01, ordinance requirements. Number 1, all ordinances must be submitted in writing in the form prescribed by the Town Council. Number 2, no ordinance shall contain more than one subject, except ordinances for the codification and revision of this code. The subject of an ordinance shall be clearly expressed in its title. Number 3, an ordinance must be read and adopted by a majority vote of members present at 2 meetings of the Town Council, not less than 12 days apart. This refers to the prior ordinances and to MCA 7-5-0103. This ordinance shall be in full force effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 497.
We have a motion and a second to pass ordinance 497. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 498, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code section 1-6-02, ordinances amending the municipal code. Be it enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code sections 1-6-02, ordinances amending the municipal code is hereby repealed. This topic is already covered by the language of 1-6-01, ordinance requirements in the same code. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 498.
Second.
We have a motion and a second for ordinance 498. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 499. I never hear Bill over there, so I don't know what he's doing. Ordinance number 499, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code sections 1-6-03, section numbers with municipal code. being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Sections 1-6-03. Section numbers within the municipal code is hereby repealed. This numbering requirement is redundant. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 499.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept ordinance number 499. All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 500, an ordinance providing for the effective date of ordinances and resolutions, being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Sections 1-6-03, effective date of ordinances and resolutions is hereby renumbered and added to the Town Code as follows. 1-5-03, effective date of ordinances and resolutions. Number 1, an ordinance passed by the council may not become effective until 30 days after its passage, except A, general appropriation ordinances providing for the ordinary and current expenses of the municipality, and B, emergency measures. Number 2, a resolution is immediately effective unless a delayed effective date is specified in the resolution. This refers to the prior code and to MCA 7-5-4203. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve ordinance 500.
I second.
I have a motion and a second to accept ordinance 500. All those in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 501, an ordinance providing for emergency ordinances, being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Sections 1-6-04, emergency ordinances, is hereby renumbered and added to the Town Code as follows. 1-5-04, emergency ordinances. In the case of emergency ordinances, the nature of the emergency must be expressed in the preamble or in the body of the measure, and the measure must receive 2/3 vote of all council members. Emergency ordinances shall only include measures as are immediately necessary for the preservation of peace, health, and safety. This refers to the prior code and MCA 7-5-4204. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 501.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to accept ordinance 501. All those in favor?
Aye.
Finally, on second reading, ordinance number 502. An ordinance amending 1-6-05, posting of ordinances to change the time period for posting ordinance amendments prior to the first reading. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Sections 1-6-05, posting of ordinances is hereby renumbered and amended as follows. 1-5-05, posting of ordinances. Every ordinance shall be posted at 3 of the most public places of the town of Fromberg for 14 days prior to first reading of the ordinance. The ordinance shall be declared official upon passage and approval after the second reading. This refers to the prior code that's being amended, and this ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Question.
Yes.
Is the 14 days, is that state? Or is
No.
that something that we could change?
You could change it. This goes for 2 weeks prior to the first reading and will continue to be posted until it's approved.
That's all. I make a motion to approve 502.
I'll second it.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 502. All those in favor?
Aye.
Sure there's a statute.
Yeah.
I just didn't list it.
Okay, first readings.
I got to sneak in the bathroom.
Okay. It's up to you if you want to keep going
Yeah.
before it comes back. I'd like to show you what you just did on second reading, for the code and how it will look. Okay? Pass it around. This has all the revisions that were just accomplished. And it's taken this long just for title one. So this is how much of the process it takes.
Yeah.
I'll pass it around and you all, and this is gonna go in a book and it will be the municipal code. It'll be labeled that way, current municipal code. It'll be right there in the office.
And it'll also be accessible online,
Yes,
correct?
hopefully. Once we get that process in place. And then what I am reading individually is going to go
This
into a
is the-
separate book, and it's
final.
already a book. And it's all the
That's what it
ordinances
looks like.
chronologically numbered. So what this is a compilation of each ordinance. This is,
That used to be that thick. What
oh, it
you
still
get.
is.
Yeah.
It's gonna get that much thicker. Okay, here we go. On first reading, ordinance number 503, an ordinance amending 2-1-02, eligibility to office to coincide with Montana state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-02, eligibility to office is hereby amended as follows. 2-1-02, eligibility to office. No person is eligible for any municipal office, elected or appointed, who is not a citizen of the United States and who has not resided in the municipality or any area which has been annexed thereto for at least 60 days immediately preceding his or her election or appointment and is not a qualified elector thereof. Appointed officers may seek consent of council to live outside the city limits or the town limits. This refers to the previous ordinance and the one that's amending 2015. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading. I should note this mirrors state.
It mirrors state law, the 60 days.
Yes.
Is that what it was? Or have we amended that?
We've amended
What
it.
was it before?
I think it was 2 years.
For the
2
mayor,
years.
the mayor was 2 years, and, well, is 2 years as written, and then 60 days for the town council.
And prior to that, there was we had been in town for 2 years.
Yes.
18 months. Then we changed it, what, about 2
See,
years
there's,
ago? 2 or
there's
3
different
years ago.
places in the same ordinances. It refers to council members, and then there's different for mayor. That state law requires the same 60-day requirement. And so
Then we can't have it longer?
you can, but you have to have a compelling reason to do so.
Yeah. I mean, 60 days is pretty short, to tell you the truth.
But then again, you know, it also subjects you to going in court and trying to justify why your ordinance is different and why there's a compelling reason to make it different
Yes.
from state law.
That's correct. Because then a judge would kind of,
Although you just,
Does-
I
Is
disagree with
somebody,
that rule.
is somebody invested in a community in 60 days?
I understand what you're saying, but also it takes a unique individual to come into a town and want to run for a council or a mayor position in 60 days. I mean, I just don't know that many people that are like, oh, I'm gonna move to town and
That's a
run for
good point.
council, you
They're
know?
doing it all over the country all the time at higher levels than this. That's how they get elected to.
That's true. Hillary didn't live in
New
New York
New
until
York, yeah.
2 weeks before she.
It's,
I think it's,
I could see people
Leaving
moving
it
to
to
town
electorate,
just to get on the
and you'll get
town.
more candidates.
If it benefits somebody, they'll do it.
I don't know.
But I think that's where your public has to play their role. You
Still
know?
have to vote them in.
Yeah.
Didn't really sound against them too.
do we have a motion to accept it or
Approve it.
not accept it?
This should be a motion to approve.
Yeah, a motion to approve.
What number are you on, 502?
503.
Motion we approve 503 is written officially.
I'll second.
Motion and a second to accept ordinance 503. All in favor?
All opposed?
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carried.
Ordinance number 504, an ordinance amending 2-1-04 vacancy of office to coincide with Montana state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-04, vacancy of office is hereby amended as follows. 2-1-04, vacancy of office. An elected or appointed office becomes vacant on happening of any of the following events before the expiration of the term of the incumbent: the death of the incumbent, the incumbent's resignation, the incumbent's removal from office, the incumbent's open neglect or refusal to discharge duties, the incumbent ceasing to be a resident of the town, except for appointed officers who may reside outside the town limits with the consent of town council, the incumbent ceasing to discharge the duties of the office for a period of 3 consecutive months, except when prevented by illness or when absent from the town by permission of the council. The incumbent's conviction of a felony or any offense involving moral turpitude or violation of official duties. This refers to the previous ordinance that's being amended and MCA 7-4-4111. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
What was that?
504.
I'll make a motion to accept ordinance 504.
I'll second it.
Okay, we have a motion to approve ordinance 504. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 505, an ordinance amending 2-1-05, filling vacancy in elective office to coincide with Montana state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-05, filling vacancy in elective office is hereby amended as follows. 2-1-05, filling vacancy in elective office. When any vacancy occurs in any elective office, this position is considered open and subject to nomination and election at the next general municipal election in the same manner as the election of any other person holding the same office, except the term of office is limited to the unexpired term of the person who originally created the vacancy. Pending an election in qualification, the council shall, by majority vote of its members, appoint a person within 30 days to hold the office until his successor is elected and qualified. This refers to the previous ordinance that's being amended and MCA 7-4-4112, which reflects state law requirements. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 505.
I'll second it.
We have a motion to approve ordinance 505. Any second? All in favor?
Aye.
Ordinance number 506, an ordinance amending 2-1-08, consolidation of appointed offices to coincide with state law, Montana state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-08, consolidation of appointed offices is hereby amended as follows. 2-1-08, consolidation of appointed offices. The town may, by ordinance, consolidate any of the offices except that of city judge, the appointment to which is made by the mayor with the advice and consent of the council, and may require any of the elected officers to perform any of the duties of an appointed officer whose office has been abolished. This reflects Montana Code Annotated 7-4-4106. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
I'll make a motion to accept ordinance 506 on first reading.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 506. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 507, an ordinance amending Fromberg Code Section 2-1-11, duties and salaries to coincide with Montana state law. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-11, duties and salaries is hereby amended as follows. 2-1-11, duties and salaries. Council may prescribe the duties of all town councils and fix by resolution their compensation. This reflects state law MCA 7-4-4103, parent 5, and 4201. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 507.
Second that as well.
We have a motion and a second to accept or approve ordinance 507. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 508, an ordinance repealing Fromberg Code Section 2-1-13, monthly payments of all salaries, as is no longer consistent with current payment procedures. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-13, monthly payment of all salaries set forth below is hereby repealed. 2-1-13, monthly payments of all salaries. Previously, it had referred to compensation of salaries paid for the mayor and council members will be paid once quarterly, not be paid quarterly. And salaries for clerk, treasurer, marshal, and street commissioner shall be paid twice monthly, and all others once at the end of each month. And again, that's not consistent with what has been occurring. That's why the committee recommended repealing this. This ordinance, go ahead. Okay. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to approve first reading 507.
Second, or 8.
Sorry.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 508. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 509, an ordinance adding Fromberg Code Section 2-1-13, oath of office. Being enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-13, oath of office is hereby added to the Fromberg Town Code. It previously read, this is added to the Town Code. 2-1-13, oath of office. Every elected and appointed municipal officer shall take the oath of office prescribed in the Montana Constitution. Before the officer performs any official duties, the oath of office certified by the official before who the oath is taken must be filed. This refers to the prior code, and it refers to MCA 7-4-4137. This ordinance shall be in full force and effect 30 days from and after passage and approval on second reading.
Make a motion to accept ordinance 509.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve ordinance 509. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Ordinance number 510, an ordinance adding Fromberg Code Section 2-1-21, bonding of municipal officers. Enacted by the Fromberg Town Council, Fromberg Code Section 2-1-21, bonding of municipal officers.